Welcome back to another installment of Professor Charles S. Live. Oh, yeah. So today, guys, I want to talk to you about something that a lot of us, we just discredit ourselves so much, man. It's like beyond me. And what am I talking about? Today we're going to talk about you are the hero to your story, man. I mean, we look at all these different things, man, these different mythologies, these different things, superheroes, and all this stuff. But do we really sit back and realize and ask ourselves that we can change the narrative to our story? We are the hero. Yes, I said us. You, whoever you are, we are the hero to our story. We have experienced things, and that's what makes us incredible, man. Like some people, could you just imagine telling somebody your story and saying, look, man, I made it through all this despite all the downfalls, the failures, the success, and even sometimes the bumpy process along these experiences. We have to ask ourselves that, do you consider yourself the hero of your story? And if you don't like your story, what are the narratives are you changing to make your story sound a little bit better? You know what I'm saying? What are you doing to say, you know what, I need to change these narratives, or I just don't like how my story is being told. You know what I'm saying? Because everyone has a story out there, man, and everybody's story is different in a unique way. Your story ain't gonna be like the next person's story because everybody experiences in life are different. But the thing is, if you're not happy with your hero story, what are you doing? What are the building blocks? You have to ask yourself, what am I doing to change the story? How am I impacting myself and say, you know what, I got to change this narrative? I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't like the story that people portrayed me as. And I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna let that define me. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, well, this is the type of person I am. People made it seem like, oh, he's a good person, but he's gullible, or they'll say, oh, he just thinks like he's perfect. And it's like, look, we are perfect, we're imperfect. I mean, look, we're masterpieces at the end of the day. But the thing was, I didn't like how people was making the story seem like, oh, this is not how it should be. And it's like, this is my story. Your story is not going to be the same as the next person's story. And like I said, I don't try to compare it like, hey, this is your story. This is how you should be with your story. It's like, no, this is necessarily that. That's your perception of your story, how you portray me. But I just say, you know what? I'm gonna try different. I'm gonna try something new, and you have to understand your story is your story. And like I said, you're not gonna always have the same experiences as someone else's story, but you are the hero of your story. No matter what you go through, you ain't gotta have no superhero cape. You ain't gotta have the cool outfit and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to have that. It's just about how you portray yourself. Are you portraying yourself in a narrative where people say, you know what? He is heroic. He went through all these different things and still survived, or maybe she. And the thing is, if you can't see that, then there's a problem. There's a serious problem if you do not believe you're the hero of your own story. I tell people that I'm like, you are the hero of your story. If you don't like the narrative, change it. Figure out ways to change it to the way you want it to be. Because like I said, at the end of the day, you ain't got to have a fancy cape, no secret identity, no double life, none of that crazy stuff, even though, I'm saying, it's cool, you know what I'm saying, because that's how the comic books have portrayed it to make it cool and anime shows, but it's not, I ain't gonna say it's not realistic. I'll just say it's not something you have to have. You ain't got to have no secret identity. But how do you pick up yourself in your story? You know what I'm saying? When you look at stuff like Batman and Superman, they teach you things that a lot of people don't see. I mean, with Superman, you see that he's like a Boy Scout type of superhero, but you also see that he's flawed. You know what I'm saying? Even though he portrays this image of, you know what I'm saying, the son of Krypton, but the thing is, he's flawed. You know what I'm saying? He's for one, how can I put this? He's flawed because he's not like Batman. Him and Batman are two different type of heroes. You know what I'm saying? And not to be like, hey, you're just gonna jump into a comparison. But with Batman saw the good in a lot of the villains compared to Superman. Superman looked at them as, hey, you're causing havoc and all this stuff. So this is why I said this is a perception type of thing. It's like, how do you see yourself as a hero? Do you see good in other people sometimes? And their what they go through. And like I said with Batman, I think that's why I liked Batman a lot more than Superman. Don't get me wrong. It was because he saw the good in those people that did the wrong, even though they were doing the wrong things. He saw that there's still some humanity in them. But the thing is, like I said, if you're not happy with your story, no one else can paint your story the way you're gonna paint your story or create your story. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we're all artists as well. But like I said, your hero story can impact somebody. You know what I'm saying? If you can change your narrative on it, how you portray yourself as an individual, it can change. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can influence someone to like, man, that story was very courageous. That was risky. That was groundbreaking. You know what I'm saying? Or it could be where it's like that influenced me to want to try to get myself out of my comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? So your story is yours alone. You are the hero of your story. You know what I'm saying? You just don't have to have the fancy gadgets. You ain't got to have a cape. None of that stuff. But the thing is, are you making sure that your story is being told the way you want it to be told, not believing in the other stuff that's false, that people want to make you seem that you're not? So you ask yourself that, and that's important because, like I said, you live this story. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's story is going to be different. They're going to experience different things, traumas, fears, losses, failures, success, crossroads, maybe, all these different things, but it shapes your story to say, you know what? I am a hero. I am a hero to my story. I may have been a hero to somebody else in their story. You know what I'm saying? So ask yourself these things, guys, because like I said, we are the heroes to our story. Like I said, it doesn't have to be where you got a secret identity and all this stuff, cool gadgets. And I mean, it's interesting. But the thing is, you have to say, you know what? I can be a hero to my story. I can impact my story. I can change it. If I don't like it, I can change the narrative of it. I can change the what I want it to be based on, like I said, working on that, building on that. And I think that's a lot better than just not trying to build or kind of like focus on the weakness of the story, or maybe just what you don't like hearing about something that's not necessarily true about your story. Because sometimes people have this jaded perception of what you should be in their story, and that's not necessarily true. You know what I'm saying? Not all the time. I know in some people's stories I'm probably the villain, because it's all perception at the end of the day. So this is my video for today, guys. Do you consider yourself that you're the hero of your own story? You tell me in the comments, guys. Your boy, Professor Charles S. Live. Have a great day, and I'm out.